Hey everyone, welcome back. One of the major complaints that I've seen online as well as from my son riding this bike is that the gearing on this is much too low. So basically you spin out, you could probably maintain 15, 16, 17 miles per hour, but beyond that, it's really a struggle to try to get some higher speeds. So what we're going to do today is take a look at replacing that front chainring. So there's a couple options here that I got. One is just a replacement chainring itself. This is a 52 tooth chainring, and then the other one is a 53 tooth chainring, and you can see it has replacement cranks as well. So I think we're gonna go with this one. We'll try that one out and see how that goes. As you can see here on the table, we've got a variety of different things to help me with this install. So you've got some cleaner, some water, we've got some chain lube, some anti-seize thread locker. Not sure if we need all of this, but it's good to be prepared. I have my torque wrench, crescent wrench here. I have a crank puller here. I'm not sure if I need that or not, but it's there. And then we also have a new chain, since the larger ring will require a longer chain. Otherwise, the current chain will just be too short. So other than that, I have a variety of different tools that you can see here, bits, and then I have some bike specific tools here as well. So everything that I use, I'll make sure to include in the description. So I think let's get started. All right, so the first thing we'll need to do is take off the cranks. So this particular bolt here is an 8mm. So we'll get this loosened up. Okay, take a look in there, and yeah, it looks like I'll probably need to use that crank puller. So here is the crank puller. So how this works is this will thread into this outer section, and then once that is fully inserted, then I'll use my crescent wrench and I'll turn this in, and then it'll effectively pull this out. Let's see. Before I do that, let me take the chain off. So one thing, just to let you guys know, I'm in the smallest gear here, so that'll help just in terms of keeping everything aligned. That's a view of how the derailleur sits, so that's where I want this derailleur to sit after everything is done. So what we end up needing to do is because we have the new chain, we'll have to probably take some links out to get it to the right length. All right, so first things first, because this bike comes with a master link here, I'll show you how to take this off. That should be pretty easy. So it helps when you have a chain tool like this. And that's all it takes. So this chain is off. We'll save this as a reference, and you guys can see here, this is what that master link looks like. Looks like it's still in pretty good shape. The new chain does come with new master links, so we'll probably just end up using that, but we could save this for later. So we'll set this chain aside for now. And here you can see once the chain is off and the tension is off, the derailleur just goes back to its standard normal position, but ultimately it should be sitting right about there, right, to kind of maintain the geometry and whatnot. So, all right, back to this. Yeah, you can see it working. So right there, that gap is much wider now. So we'll just keep going at it. There it is. So yeah, you just have to get over that initial stiction. Alright, yeah, it's pretty easy now. And there you go. There you have it. That thing is off. And there is a torque spec on it, 35 Newton meters. But when you see this, it is internal geared, and I do not have that tool. So I have no way of getting that off. So what I'm going to do now is switch gears. So instead of replacing it with that, I'm going to just replace the actual chain ring itself. So we'll get things set up for that and get this started. So first thing is I'll have to take off these bolts. So this is looks like 5mm. These guys come pretty easily. There we go. Okay, so that's what that looks like. So we can mount that right back up there. And then this chain guard is effectively, I guess, useless at this point, but we'll probably end up putting this back just to kind of maintain at least some aesthetics with this. One thing to note, before you buy this chain ring, make sure you measure the bolt spacing. So there's a measurement, it's BCD bolt center diameter, I believe. So it's like center to center, and I think this is 100 and right here 104 millimeters, right? So we'll get this situated. Let's not sure if this will be long enough, but let me try. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Let me just do a test fit here. And then I think what I'm going to do is put some Loctite on these bolts. See how that works out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. So before I move forward, here's the blue Loctite that I'll be using. And like most things, I'm trying to set up into this till we're done. And we'll get my picking later. Okay, so one thing to note with these chain rings is that if you just try to tighten it like this, it'll just keep spinning. You need something on the back side to hold it from spinning. I actually do not have the right tool for that, but here, let me show you what I'm gonna do. So bear with me. So you can see on the back side here, there's those grooves. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Stubby flathead. I'm going to insert it right there, and then that'll give it just enough holding power there where I can use the hex wrench to tighten it down and be able to take care of that. All right. I did look for torque specs on this. I couldn't find any at the moment, so for right now I'm just going to snug down everything, and then I can come back later when I have some time and check for those particular specs, if they actually do exist or not. So once you have it snug down, then it catches, and then I can just tighten it by hand. And again, that was with a 5mm wrench there, hex wrench. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of grease. So what I'm using is this Park Tool high performance grease. This is for my regular mountain bike, but I think any old grease would do, but this is what I have. So we'll just put a little bit on. And put a little here. And then I take the original bolt here, and I'll go ahead and thread that in. And that is with a 8mm. And this one, there is a torque setting. It is 38 to 42 Newton meters. So let me get out my torque wrench. Okay, now that that part is done, everything is back to normal here. So we'll work on the chain. All right, so here's the chain. We'll get this opened up, and you can see that it does come with brand new master links. So we'll set that aside. Just make sure this is a 7-speed bike, so make sure you get a 7-speed chain. This does say 8-speed, but it's suitable for 6, 7, and 8-speed gearing. So we'll get this threaded through the bike, and then let me see if I can give you a comparison on length of the chain. So this is interesting. They're the exact same length. So let me see how this will end up working out. Might have to pull some links from the old chain and put it onto the new chain, and then maybe I have 2 master links on the chain, but let me see what I can do. So if you remember, this should be sitting right about there. So looks like we are short, I don't know, maybe a few different links. So let me get that measured out, see what I can do. And let's get the master link on. That part was easy. And all right, guys, I think we're just about done here. So you can see the derailleur is more or less in its original position here. Everything else looks like it's pretty good. You can see there's 1 master link there, and there's another one right there. So I basically put in 1, 2, 3 links, right? If you want to look at, or 1, 2, yeah, 3 links. So I'm gonna go clean up, give this a test ride, and we'll come back and I'll give you a report as to how everything performed. Okay. All right, guys, here's the final product. Went out for a quick test ride and everything seems to check out. I had my son, who regularly rides this bike, check it out as well, and he says that it's a big improvement. So it reduces a lot of that fast cadence at particular speed. So here's a quick look. You can see how this setup looks. The chain ring, or the chain guard, is it doesn't cover the chain like it does before, but I think it's acceptable from that standpoint. And you can see the derailleur is still in that vertical original position, so I think that ends up being good. And there you can see the 2 master links and the section of chain that I put in there. So overall, I think this is a pretty good modification. This chain ring is as of, let's say, August of 2022. It was around $25. The other one that had the entire chain ring with the crank arms, that was $52. So I think this is much more of an affordable option and upgrade. You do need to purchase a crank puller to get that off. So I think overall, we'll have my son ride this around for a couple of weeks, and then I'll come back and give you a quick update as to how things work. But for the time being, all is said and done. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.